Welcome. This is the Menu Planning with Food Processor webinar. My name is Stephanie Fitch and I will be presenting today. Thank you all for joining us for the webinar demonstration. So we'll go ahead and get started. Our agenda today during this 30-minute webinar will cover talking about entering ingredients in the ESHA database and creating recipes. And then we're going to go ahead and add a recipe to our new menu module. We will create a cycle menu and also look at the reporting features, followed by a brief questions and answers session. So our food processor application was originally launched in 1981, so it has been within the industry and used and trusted by industry professionals for many years. It's used for diet analysis, recipe planning, recipe formulation, and fitness details, as well as many other features. And this new module that can be added to your food processor application will now offer the ability to create the cycle menu analysis for institutional food service. The food and ingredient database that is included with the food processor software includes over 70,000 foods. These foods include government databases as well as many manufacturers' foods, restaurant foods, and brand name foods. The software application itself tracks over 163 nutrient components, and that includes MyPlate food groups as well as diabetic exchanges. Our database is continually being updated by our database team of industry professionals and is maintained for accuracy. Today we're going to focus on our menu planning module. This menu planning module is designed to meet the needs for institutional food service as well as for hospitals, nursing homes, correctional facilities, schools and universities, as well as many other organizations that create the cycle menus. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the food processor now, and we are going to get started by creating an ingredient in the ESHA database. So to create an ingredient in the ESHA database, as well as recipes, ingredients, profiles, and menu plans, you would originally go to the New tab. From there, to add an ingredient to the database, you select Ingredient and name the ingredient. I'm going to add a salad greens and enter a quantity. So from a nutrition facts panel or from a spec sheet, you can add the specific foods information, and you would want to include the quantity and measure that's included in the report. Often it's 100 grams, so I'm going to briefly touch on this. I'm not going to go in depth into how to add an ingredient. You can preview our tutorials on our website and look at a more in-depth ingredient addition on our website, but from here you're going to just go through and populate the nutritional information that you would find on a nutrition facts panel or a spec sheet, and then select Save. You can also add unique yields and measures, associated costs with your ingredients, or associate that ingredient with groups. I'm going to go ahead and save this ingredient and move forward to creating a recipe with that ingredient. Going back to the Home tab, I would select New and then now select Recipe. These recipes and ingredients can be used in our menu module. So this is going to be a salad recipe, and this recipe will make 8 servings. And then select OK to start to create your recipe. From here, I'm going to search the database for my salad greens and search This is searching the ESHA database. As you can see, the ingredient that I just added to the ESHA database comes up first, but you have other options that are either USDA foods or brand name foods. I'm going to select my salad greens and add that to my new recipe. From here, I will enter a quantity. I'm going to put 16 ounces and OK. Now I have my unique ingredient that I have added to my new recipe. Now I'm going to go ahead and look for salad dressing to add another ingredient to this new recipe. Now I did, because my term was very generic, salad dressing is a generic term, I have 397 different varieties of salad dressing to choose from. I can put in more details, or I can just simply select one of the salad dressings from the list and then select a quantity and measure. I will do 3 tablespoons and OK. And now I have created a new recipe for my own particular database. I'm going to go ahead and use this recipe in a new menu. So I'm going to go ahead and save my work and save this recipe under the name salad and OK, and close this recipe. Now, moving forward, we're going to go ahead and create our first menu plan. I'm going to go to the New tab and select Menu Plan this time, and I'm going to name this menu plan. So I will name this menu plan Summer Menu, and I can associate a specific user code with this menu if I'd like to come back to this menu easily when searching my database. So now you can see where you can start to build your menu plan. What you see on the left-hand side of the screen is the food pick list. This is a list that is going to be unique to each individual that's creating their cycle menus. This is a list that will be used to populate categories and menus, but these foods will be available to be picked through. So to start, I'm going to just select my salad that I just added and search through the database. Now my salad that I just created is the first one that came up, so I'll select that. I will indicate the quantity and the number of servings that are included in my pick list, but I will also include which meal that this food is associated with. I'm going to select lunch, and then from here I'm going to also add it to collections. So I have a salad collection. Incidentally, what you see here is a list of collections that are populated with the software. You can add any number of collections to this list in the database and can be customized to your specific needs. From here you can add comments and select OK. And now I have my first food item on my food pick list, and it's been populated in my menu. To add another item, perhaps a beverage, I think I will search the database for juice and search. Now I have a number of juices to choose from. I will choose this juice orange chilled and select. And from here, again, you'll include a quantity and measure. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 1 cup and include which meal this particular food might be associated with. And then for the collections, I'll choose beverages this time. Now I have a breakfast food, and it did populate at the beginning at the top, and our lunch salad. So it's as simple as that. You would continue to search the database for foods that you would want to add to your quick pick your quick pick list, and then those foods can be added to the cycle menu. From here, I'm going to go ahead and close this particular cycle menu and open a finished one so that we can talk more about the features within the module. Now to open an existing food, recipe, or menu plan, instead of going to the New tab, you would go to the Open tab, and I'm going to select Menu Plan. We have a sample winter menu plan that's already populated in the module that can be added to your current food processor application. I'm going to go ahead and select that completed menu plan. Now we can see a menu plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the different categories that are available in the food pick list. Now, as you can see, we have some specific nutrients that are displayed while I'm creating my menu. This can be modified and customized. If I right-click on the menu plan and select Display Columns, here I can display a unique set of nutrients if I'd like. What I have showing is the caloric dependent nutrients, but if I'd like I can edit that and add any of the 163 nutrient components to my analysis to be displayed while creating the menu plan. From here you can see that I have under breakfast I have a protein group, a juice group, breads group, and beverages group. Same with under lunches, so it's very customizable. These foods can be easily moved from the food pick list over to the menu itself, and as we see we have the under the protein we have the scrambled eggs. Also, you can compare your analysis to specific DRI values, or you can customize your analysis to reflect how close that they are, the DRI, the nutrition values are meeting specific needs for a profile, which you can create within the software itself. The way to do that is to select Edit, and then from here you can compare it either to DRI values or a unique nutrient set. Something to make note of while we're working in the software itself, as you can see we have on our food menu list many names of many names of different foods. Now, the ESHA database actually is populated with foods that contain specific details, like for instance you see this yogurt, Greek, fruit, whole milk. That particular food is not using a common name. Instead it's using a database name. So you can customize the way that your food menu looks. If you go to the Home tab under Preferences, under the General tab, you can select whether you would like to use common names or existing names. I apologize, my screen isn't quite as friendly as it is normally, so I've got a smaller view, so I apologize for that. So I've just expanded that a little bit, and as you can see here I've got Use Common Names displayed with a check mark. If I unchecked that, then the original names for those foods from the ESHA database are displayed. So either preference, you have the ability to make that very customizable. Also, under the reporting section for the menu plan, you can go to your cycle menu. So from here we have basically created our menu, And now if I want to add this menu to a series of days, I would go to a cycle menu. I'm going to go ahead and click Add Cycle. Now I have my day 1 displayed. This is going to include all of the foods that I have included in my day pick list. These can be double-clicked on and added as a day, and you can add multiple days. So if I had day 1, day 2, day 3, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I could add those days and they would be displayed on my cycle menu. I can also double-click and add multiple days if I want to repeat the foods that are included in that particular day. The title for the day is customizable as well. You can select a specific date or select a different name. So perhaps if I wanted to say Tuesday for this particular day, I can update that and modify Monday and OK. I can also display the day title or date, and then the date is also customizable. So if this is going to be for yesterday, I've got Monday, Monday's date. Now at the top of the page you see which day is being used in your cycle menu, so that's useful to know if you're using multiple days over and over again, then you have that day 1 title displayed. You can also hide that and only display what you would like to display customizably. Now, going to our reporting features for the cycle menu, you can absolutely go to a spreadsheet report. This is going to give you the nutrient components that are available for the specific nutrient set that you have created. Or you can go ahead and select a bar graph report. That's going to be the report that you can use to see how well your foods are meeting specific nutrient components. And then single nutrient report, that report focuses on one specific nutrient, or the multi-column report, which is also known as the 100-gram report. To preview a cycle menu, if you printed it out, we can go ahead and right-click on the menu cycle itself and then select Export Menu. From here you're going to have a number of options to select from. I'm going to select the menu plan cycle to display the menu plan in a calendar view. This gives you the option to export it as a single text file or export it to your clipboard. Something to make note of quickly, we do have multiple notes fields that you can add any information to, and those notes fields can be displayed as well on your reports. I'm going to click Save, and yes, and going over to File, I can preview, oops, I'm going to click Print Preview to see this cycle menu. And now we can see it displayed in the calendar view. And this is customizable as well, so you can display the columns in different font sizes and different different view. So also from here you can go ahead and go back to the Home tab, and I'm going to close this cycle menu, and then reopen this cycle menu. I wanted to quickly show you how to modify a food in your menu if needed. You would want to right-click on it, and the food then can be changed to a different food or modify the item. To change the name, which is a common question asked for to make the name more friendly, for instance, we have this yogurt. Perhaps I want it to just say Greek yogurt. I can right-click on this food and open the food at the ingredient level, and from here, now I have the option to add a common name. So from here I could just go Greek yogurt, and you can also add a user code if you'd like to this food, and then file and save. Always save your work. And then on our cycle menu, our new food item will display the correct name. So cycle menus are made up of several days or several weeks. Days are unique and can be repeated within the cycle and can be displayed as you would like. So going back to our cycle menu, to the days, you can add a day from the day option. One nice thing about the new menu module is we have our new navigation ribbon that's been added to the food processor, and all of your features are available within the navigation ribbon. So to add a day, I just select Add Day, and now I have a new day that I can start to create my food list from. And then going back to the food pick list, if I want to add similar foods, I would just double click and add those days. So now, one thing to also make note of, we have an adjusted average factor for each of the foods. Now I've just added, I'm going to delete this food, I added it twice on accident. I've just added the scrambled eggs to a second day. The adjusted average would be available for the number of units that you think you would sell or that would be consumed for that particular food item. This particular menu is a select menu, so it gives the option to choose from different foods that are available within the menu. For instance, we have this orange juice and the grape juice. Under breakfast, we have a scrambled eggs and a pork steak. Now, the adjusted average can be modified. So if I think that maybe 75% of the people that this menu will serve will choose scrambled eggs and maybe 25% will choose the pork steak, I can adjust those values, and then at the bottom of the reports, you would get an adjusted average for the number of calories that are displayed. So going back to our original menu, I'm going to close this and go back and open the finished one. We can see that the adjusted values are displayed for those particular foods. So we've got our day 1 and day 2. I'm going to display, going back to our menu plan and selecting so I actually need to do 0.75% and 0.25% gives us the correct nutritional information for that average, as you can see. And then going to the reports, if we look at our spreadsheet report, we get the breakfast adjusted average and day 2% that those nutrient components are meeting. So it's very adjustable, but it also can be used, this menu module can also be used to create just a menu with one item for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if there is no other items to select from. Okay, so from here we're going to go ahead and address some of the questions that have come in for the menu module. And so it looks like one question that has come in, it says, if I add a supplier ingredient, can I include those ingredients in my pick list? And that's a great question. Thank you for sending that in. Yes, you can absolutely add any ingredient in your software database, and that ingredient can exist in your pick list. If I go back to my food processor, this pick list is basically existing there within this cycle menu to give you the option to select from commonly used foods. Again, those foods can be added or removed if needed. That's a great question. The next question that just came in, it says, can I use a specific profile for my nutrient recommendations? Yes, we talked a little bit about that. If you select from the edit option and go to the compare your profile, you can also select from a specific person. Now within my database, I have a number of menus or different people that I have saved within my database. These people have overridden values that do not reflect DRI values. So if you want to create a specific recommendation for your menu, you can absolutely do that by selecting a profile that you've ahead of time gone in and created. Great question. Thank you very much for that. So the next question that came in, it looks like it says, do I have to have the current version of the food processor to use the menu plan module? Yes, that's a great question. So the menu plan is available to be added as an additional feature in the current 11.1 version of the food processor. Please give our sales team a call if you would like to learn more about adding adding the menu module to your food processor application. It's a powerful tool, and we're not really able to touch base on every feature within the module today in such a short time, but we'd definitely be happy to spend an hour with you or over a personal webinar or talk with you about how you can add that additional module. So great questions. So here's another question. Can I create select versus non-select menus? So yes, we talked a lot about that today. The select menus are the menus that people can choose from several food options, or you can just select one food to add to your menu and display it in the calendar view report. Also, it says, another question says, can I create menus that cover just one meal? Again, yes, that's a great question. For instance, if you only serve lunches for your population, then you can customize your menu plan to include only lunch items or only breakfast items or only breakfast and lunch, whatever best meets your needs. So it does look like we are out of time. I appreciate all of you joining us today to have a quick preview of our new menu module that's available to add to your food processor application. We will follow up with all of the additional questions that we didn't have time to get to, and we will be sending out slides and a recorded webinar to those who attended to the webinar today. Also, on our website, we have archived webinars. This one will be included, as well as others that address other specific topics with our with the ESHA products. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.